Truth in architecture lies in volume. Truth in architecture lies also in the inhabited volume, because otherwise it would be sculpture. Volume is really what we see from the outside, what we penetrate, and what protects and welcomes us. A new audience is born, a new audience for painting, a new audience for libraries. My dream was actually to make it possible to cross the entire complex. It's a small and isolated neighborhood, so I wanted to make it possible to cross it from north to south, simply for the pleasure of walking through it as you would in a shop or along an itinerary. Since 1978, when China opened its doors to the outside world, it has experienced an extraordinary explosion of economic and personal freedoms. Although there's still a long way to go, China is now richer than many democratic third world countries, with literacy levels double those of India. On the occasion of the 2008 Olympics, China has also made investments in culture and venues dedicated to the event. Thousands of construction sites are open. The urban landscape is being changed deeply. Today, it's marked by striking architectural features and design solutions, at times intensely debated, yet always admired for their originality and courage. Almost like a bubble, there's a building floating on water. At first sight, people ask, what does that strange dome, in titanium and glass, without any opening, right in the middle of a lake in the heart of Beijing, hide? Then, on the outside, one notices some dark red leather, and through a semi-transparent golden net, you have the entrance to the opera house. You can also see figures walking in the lounge, the foyer, in the transparent underwater underpass connecting the building with the city. First of all, the opera is a sort of gateway to elsewhere, to another place. I believe that all great opera houses have done the same. Take Sydney, Bayreuth, or Gagne. They're all buildings where the entrance is a viatical. You enter and pass through a space that makes you lose part of your daily bearings, and you're now ready for the show, ready for the opera. The building is rather enigmatic by day because you can't see what's going on inside. It's a perfect building on water. It mirrors itself, it's disorienting. It says nothing about itself. It suddenly breaks open, it opens up. It's the light that makes it open. The opera theatre is the project's most important element. The walls become opaque when the surrounding rooms are dark and translucent when they are lit. In the foyer, spectators can be seen from the distance, created by the semi-transparent walls, a psychological and symbolic distance between the world outside and the world of the theatre. The National Grand Theatre, built in a place rich in history, aims at becoming the symbol of new China, of its place in the contemporary world, and of its ability of making history in the future. It's an icon. It symbolically bears witness to the value of culture as a means of mutual international knowledge. Right from the start, I said to myself, I'm designing a building for these times. iGuzzini Illuminazione collaborated with Paul Andreu and lighting designer Kaoru Mende in defining this space. Its extraordinary interior volumes stand out by night thanks to the artificial lighting of the common spaces and foyer, signalling the presence of the National Grand Theatre in the urban landscape. Man's life is making boundaries and then crossing them. The light is there to say this. Is it a boundary? However, the light beyond it draws you towards it. This way we tried to distinguish the opera house from the theatre and auditorium on the other side, so that they could be perceived more like galleries, lighted as such, and then to create in the public spaces a well-planned and well-defined lighting, typical though of street lighting.
Bien travaillé, bien spécifié, mais qui est finalement un éclairage de rue.
The lighting project regarded, above all, the passage areas and the large dome illuminated from the bottom up. The lighting of the floors open to the public is uniform without any glare. Perroquet fixtures with anti-glare cylinders were used. They were positioned along the external parameter of the building, hosting the theatre's halls. The large dome required a very thorough and complex lighting project. The surface was divided horizontally into 4 levels. Professional light-up walk recessed fixtures were installed for the lower part. Thanks to the wall washer optics, they afford perfect lighting of the wall. The perroquets with spot and flood optics were used for the other levels. They were installed at 2 different levels, one at about 5 meters and the other at about 30 meters, and directed to create declining shades and densities on the wood surfaces. Zoom spotlights were also used to light works of art displayed along the hallways. Then for the rest of the building, we have fixtures that do their job. They work. They've proven to be reliable elsewhere, and I love them because they're well designed, yet at the same time sober. It's always the same with lighting fixtures. There's no such thing as absolute sobriety. You cannot hide them, yet hiding them is not even desirable. You cannot reduce this space. This space is huge. But if you wish to make it even larger, if you wish to make it become a place of adventure, personal emotions, I believe that it cannot be uniform, that it should be completely revealed before the eyes of the observer. So the light is far from being perfect, but it's good and it's different. Beijing's Grand National Theatre is a touchstone of the global fabric. A theatre in the world and in the city. A new dream machine open to all. There's no other complex like it in the world.